Okay, so this is the Supra build still. Finished the chassis wiring, at least up until the firewall. So this is the battery mount right here. It's in between where the back seat used to be and the trunk here. Here's all the fuel pump. There's 3 pumps in there, 3 525s. And then I got the sender right there separated out. And you'll see that's other harness there. So three pumps going in. And then you see the battery wiring there. So left side is ground, right side is power. Here is the remote starter panel, as well as the primary pump booster. So that's, you'll see your remote solenoid there. This is main power coming in for the car. That's for the alternator charging, or charging of the battery. You got a little ground panel and then remote starter relay right there. Alright. You can see that's the rest of the rear tail light wiring, flasher wiring there. And you can see that's my main power distribution center. I haven't put any of the relays in or the fuses in yet, but there'll be 10 relays on there, 10 relays on there. There's the trans brake, bump box, solid state relay. Those are the input signals, and then the outputs there. The 3 left are going to the pump, and then the other 3 go to the front of the car. And then you'll follow that wiring all the way up. And I'll take you to the front here. So that wiring comes from the back. We'll meet up here. Some of it goes to the Holley ECU. This is the HP I'm going to be running. So some of them will go to injectors and coil power there. Those are all the inputs, outputs from the Holley. This is where the 5 volt's going to go. And that's the ECU power wire. And then there's another little sub panel there. That essentially power comes from the back. Essentially that will send power to the switch panel here, which will turn on the car, the start switch for the car, the engine, a line lock, wiper, horn, and then the Sasquatch thing is lights, and then they got rear lights, and then I put an auxiliary one in there in case. And then back there you'll see there's also a starter, not a starter, a flasher relay. And then there's how the Holley's mounted. The Holley power goes all the way to the back of the car, the battery, and then there's the fuse for the Holley. And then I'll take you to the other side. And then there's another set of harnesses coming up this way. Those are the wires going up to the starter and the ground. I'll connect those later. And then some of them you'll see are tucking away in here, coming up. And then that will, so that panel feeds 2 sides, which will go back to the inputs in the back. And then you'll see is my little turn signal thing. It's going to mount it there. So I'm just going to go get a cage. So this will be mounted to the dash bar. And in the front here, you'll see provisions for power's coming out of here. All those wires are coming out of here. So the purple one goes to the starter solenoid, big red one to the starter, and the black one is going to be engine ground back to the battery. And that green wire there is going to go to the alternator. And this blue one is coming up for the fan, and that black one's the fan ground. And off that side you'll see some wiring picking up all the headlights going up into that sub panel I showed you on the right there. So, same with over here. And then there is the line lock and wiper wiring all lining up to go to that switch panel. Alright, so that pretty much finishes up the chassis wiring. Next is to do, this is all the excess wire I have left, all little pieces. Next part is to do, well, once the cage comes back, I still have to do one more, which I'm thinking about putting it here. I'll be able to plate over here, which will be the inputs for the bump and trans brake, but I still got to get my shifter and stuff. But the next part will be once the car comes back. Obviously there's no engine in it, engine's getting built. I'll come back, I'll add the unterminated harness for the Holly. I'll start doing that, and then I'll go out that right there. So it's all set up, ready to go. Give you a quick shot of what it looks like from afar. Here, there, there, and then there you go right there. Alright, until next time.